All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Indianapolis Colts. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. First carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Space to maneuver at the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 yards through the air on a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, Green 39. Black 99 Philly, here we go.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching...
Now the ball comes loose, and the Colts pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Gone, 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 gone. Check 4.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And right away, he lost the football. back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, Manning. And his throw is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. Looking deep here for Ebron. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working from the gun, Manning. And he connects with Ebron. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319!
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And this would have been returned to right around the 30. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
So after the INT, it's Manning. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Manning. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Manning now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Detroit!
They'll try to run it in, going option right. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
He's going to get it running right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. On 3rd down. It's Lindsey, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. And that time, the tackle by Malik Hooker.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete. And the Giants send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taken from just outside the 30. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They'll cut down when they're that backed up. You've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down leads to 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Manning to throw. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And Manning keeps it himself. And he takes it in for a Colts score. It's their quarterback. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Colts add on to their lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it.
Check 24, check 24. Yeah, take the edge. Go. Hot! 57.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Get ready.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now this time Manning will throw. Flushed out right. He's going to look deep for Watkins. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. The Colts on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is third and 11.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Hot!
From the gun, it's Manning. Going deep here for Watkins. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Gone! 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 All right, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And Rosas puts this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they'll go on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Screen play, Johnson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Good work that time to get them to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Following the penalty, it's Johnson, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Now they'll throw it with Manning. This is complete. Out, down inside the 20 at the 4. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone now. Manning. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
He'll get it up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 319. 319. Detroit.
Back to throw. And a loose football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Throw left side complete. That's Lindsey. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And a nice gain of 21 yards. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Again, it's Barkley. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's